Welcome back to the Villain's Guide to Wasteland 3. Today we'll be covering your headquarters, interactions and choices inside it, from exploring the ins and outs of your base, but also covering the multiple ways to fully staffing it. If you're digging this video, please like, subscribe, and share. But for now, enjoy the video. From the moment the Patriarch gives you this rundown airbase, the way you clean it up and staff it is completely up to you. Let's start with our first task inside the base. We have to shut down the alarms and lift the lockdown. Inside the central room is multiple servitors who are tasked with preventing anyone from shutting down the alarm. You can bypass the fight with kiss ass, or with tricking the servitors that the programming is invalid through the dialogue, or you could just destroy them. After any choice you make, approach the center console and install yourself as commander. The base is now yours. Now if you go right from the central room, you will find the records hall. Inside is a couple of poisonous wolverines, and other than some loot and a console, there's not much really in here. In the southwest corner though, you will find a container with a creep doll inside. Radical Rachel. It'll increase your explosive damage by 5%. Now head down the hallway to find another door. Behind this door are some refugees who have been living inside the base for weeks. You can allow them to stay, which will cause some problems later. Or you can tell them to hit the road. Any choice you make will reward or penalize your reputation with the refugees. Head down the stairs to find the Brig, which has a prisoner, a corpse, and a terminal. Search the terminal to find out it overloaded. If we investigate the corpse near the terminal, we can find out his cause of death was because of the terminal overloading. And if your perception is high enough, you can find a half-eaten mushroom inside one of his pockets. Now the prisoner in here is one of the most unique NPCs inside Wasteland 3. He'll give you information on previous owners of the base, and provide background information on some important characters. Ask him about the corpse and you can clearly tell he's not telling you the truth. Choosing to let him out or let him stay though has very minor consequences at best. If you choose to let him out, he stays there for the rest of the game and does absolutely nothing. However, if you choose to set him free, later in the game, you will find a corpse with a note in Colorado Springs addressed to you, telling you to take your choices more importantly. Now on the other side of the base, you will find the garage, the med bay, and the armory. Inside the garage is a broken slicer dicer. Bring a ranger with mechanics to repair it, but gear up for a fight. You will also find some lock containers and a corpse inside here, so bring someone with lock picking and first aid. Across the hall, you will find a med bay that previous owners were using as a morgue. Bring a ranger with first aid to pass some event checks for information and some minor XP. Down the stairs from here, you will find a locked door you are unable to pass. I will have more on this in a later video. The last room at the end of the hall is the armory. This room is filled with traps and mines, so a ranger with explosives will be able to disarm them. You'll again find some loot in here, as well as another terminal with some minor information on previous tenants. Now that we've surveyed and cleared out our base, it's time for us to find staff for it. To fully staff our base, we need a Brig Warden, an Armory Warden, a garage staff, and a doctor. There are other minor roles to fill that offer unique bonuses, but we'll cover those in a separate video. Let's start with the easiest one, and that's the doctor. We can find the doctor in a garage off of the market in downtown Colorado Springs. He would like to help us, but he's overwhelmed with patients at the moment. Bring a ranger with first aid and offer to help him so he can join us back at Ranger HQ. He needs a first aid kit, an injury kit, and a suture kit. You should have 2 of these items already. If not, check the vendors back at the market. And you can find the suture kit across from the garage in a container on the side of the street. Bring these back to the dock and patch his patients up to gain his help. Our next stop is getting our Brig Warden. If you stop by the sheriff's office, she will ask you to clear out the remaining Dorseys inside the Garden of the Gods. Head there and clear it out. At the end, you will find a bunch of 100 family teens were behind the Dorsey attack, the one and the city, and your convoy. We also find out that a man named Brygo was working with the Dorseys, and he's the one who let them in the city. Let this play out and make your choice. Regardless of your pick, after you report back to Sheriff Daisy, she will offer you Hope Emerson as your jailer. The sheriff once again has a new mission. She wants us to look for a missing marshal named Delgado at the local gangster Brygo's nightclub. The same Brygo that allegedly let the Dorseys into the city. After paying a visit and snooping around Brygo's Little Vegas club, we talked to a man named Charlie Knows. Charlie apparently knows nothing. Go figure. Head up the stairs to find a man named Kendall. After a persuasion check or a bribe, we find out that Delgado is here, and in fact, Charlie does know. So we bring this information back to Charlie, and he confirms that Delgado is here. But first, it wasn't Brygo behind the Dorsey attack. Instead, it was a mechanic named McTavish. So we head across town, and near the sheriff's office is McTavish's machine shop. After a brief encounter, interact with the intercom and tell McTavish you don't want to break down his door, and he'll let you in. Now speak with McTavish to find out he's not budging on his information. Remind him that Brygo's not coming to his defense and he'll squeal for a price. $500, $300 if you have barter, or you could just threaten him and he'll tell you the truth for free. You can kill him, you can let him go, or you can turn him in. Whatever you decide, don't forget to grab the evidence out of the lockers to prove Brygo was innocent. Now we head back to the nightclub to free Delgado and deal with Brygo. Charlie greets us at the front door confirming the information we received and then suddenly dips. So what is going to happen here is a fight between the marshals and Brygo, and you're going to have to pick. There's only one way to end this peacefully, and that's by hacking the terminal at the bottom of the stairs. After a nerd stuff check, you can choose to blow up the ventilation system, and then during the dialogue, threaten Brygo with burning down his club. He'd rather go to jail than see his life work burn to the ground and will just give up. If you side with Brygo though, you will have to fight corrupt marshals on your way out. And if you side with the marshals, you will have to defeat Brygo to get out. Now regardless of your choice to side with the corrupt marshals or Brygo, we still have to head to the back room and save Delgado. We can finally head back to Sheriff Daisy, and depending on our choice, Delgado will join us as an Armory Warden if we sided with the marshals, and if we sided with Brygo, we will get an armory filled with criminals. With the Armory Warden position filled, we can finally get our last specialist. While completing missions around Colorado Springs, we'll be given a task to talk to a man from the 100 families named Gideon Reyes. We can find Gideon in a church in Broadmoor Heights. Talk to him. He wants us to stop the flow of refugees into the city. For your trouble, he offers you a mechanic crew for your base. How convenient. He wants us to check out a smuggling ring in a parking garage north of the bazaar entrance. So hop in your Kodiak and head to the bazaar. You'll probably get the heads or tails mission to choose between heading to the Hoon Homestead or the Arapaho Caravan, but you don't have to deal with it right away despite what the game tells you. What matters is when you choose one or the other. After reaching the bazaar, you want to head north until you come to a long bridge. The smuggling ring will give you a warning to back off or they'll shoot. Oh no. Anyway, after they are dead, we will find some refugees locked inside a room. Speak to the leader to find out Mama Cotter is the person smuggling refugees into Colorado Springs. Now we can either leave them to die or find transportation for them into Colorado Springs. If you choose to save them, you can find Pari Dolia Jones inside the bazaar. You can guilt him with a high kiss-ass skill into taking them, or you could just pay him. Regardless of your choice, we're heading back to Mama Cotter to have a little chat. You will find out she freely admits to doing it and would do it again. You're left with another choice. Turn a blind eye or arrest Mama Cotter. If you let her go, she will offer you her boys to help you in your garage instead of Gideon's crew, at the cost of losing reputation with the 100 families and losing the chance to get Gideon as a political advisor. Or you can arrest her, which will please Gideon and the 100 families at the cost of refugee reputation. The choice is yours. With your headquarters fully staffed now, you can start seeing your base come alive. You will start seeing shops set up, you can now heal for free, and be able to buy supplies from within your own base. I appreciate you sticking until the end of the video. If you found this guide helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Look out for my next video, where I'll be covering some of the minor slots you can fill in your base, as well as hidden secrets and quest chains inside your headquarters. And as always, from your favorite mess villain, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch.